Let me be still and listen to the truth. Let you be still and listen to the truth. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 106 of A Course in Miracles. We have a powerful lesson today, like all of them, and today's lesson is going to teach us how to quiet the ego's voice so that way we can remove all the noise, the clutter, the static that is blocking us from hearing God's voice, all that extra noise. And we've used the example of the radio, and I'll pull it out right now so we could see that example one more time. Look, this is what our minds sound like. You hear that static? We're thinking so many things at once, and they're all illusions, and our minds are fogged by this, and we can't tune into nothing for a long enough period of time to be receptive to it. Or we're tuned into a station that sounds like this, that is causing us to receive results in this world that are not of our choosing, because we're not really choosing deliberately. We are choosing by default. But whenever you quiet the ego's voice and you start to tune into truth, then you hear a clear signal that is always there for you. And another good analogy, since this is out, do you see how we can't hear the music right now? It's playing. That frequency is here right now, but we don't have an instrument in order to pick up that frequency. But now we do. And if we turn this on to that frequency, it's here because it has an antenna. So same thing with our minds. Me and you have the most powerful receiver and transmitter, which is much more powerful than any device that me and you as humans we think can make. There is no device that we can make that will ever be more powerful than the mind that me and you are one with and a part of. We just have yet to learn how to direct all our power. And the funny thing is that we're directing that power right now, and our whole lives we have been, because we cannot not direct that power, but we are just doing it unknowingly, and we are directing that power in ways that we wouldn't prefer and we wouldn't choose if we were aware of what we were doing. So let's go ahead and continue. One more thing I do want to say with today's lesson, which is let us be still and listen to the truth, is I do want to mention that a lot of people, and I'm saying a lot of people, but really myself at one point in time, and I know a lot of people could agree, that sometimes we feel like we don't want to do this type of work. Let us be still and listen to the truth, because we enjoy taking action and we think that we have to do something out there in this world, and we enjoy play and we enjoy all of the fun activities of this world, and we think that being still and listening to truth is a sacrifice, because we think that we have to be still and go over there and meditate, and everyone's out there having fun, or I could be getting something done right now but I'm being still and listening to the truth. We don't understand that this isn't our best benefit, because check this out. Being still is a state of mind where the ego's mind is silenced and dispelled, where it is no longer there no more. So you still can go out there and have fun in this world, and you can still be doing activities, and there could be music playing if that's what you desire. There could be people around. You could be in what appears to be a chaotic environment, and you who has a trained mind can still be still and listen to the truth, even with regardless of what's going on around you in your experience. However, right now, because we are not at that level yet, we are going to read this lesson today, and it is going to mention that we need to physically be still and quiet our minds, meaning to reduce all of our physical senses as possible, meaning close your eyes, remove all the sound, kind of sit there in quiet and learn to be receptive to the voice of God. But just know that when me and you get the hang of this and we practice this more and more and more, we will no longer need that quiet, peaceful condition in order to be receptive to the voice of God, because we are so tuned in that regardless of where we're at and regardless of how chaotic it may appear outside of us, we are always receptive to God's voice. So just know that if you are or were anything like me, where this appears like a sacrifice because you have to be still and and be receptive to God's voice. Of course, at first it's going to require that because of our untrained minds, and that's what we're going to learn today. But just know, as we get the hang of this, it is going to become to the point where we could do anything we want to in this world, experience anything we want to with whoever around, with whatever conditions taking place, having fun, and we are going to be receptive to the voice of God because we no longer need that condition in order to be receptive, because it is a program, it is automatic, it is something that is unconsciously competent, so we are doing it without even trying. So let's keep that in mind today, and let's go ahead and begin. If you got the book, you already know where to go. And if you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. Let's go ahead and dive in. Lesson 106. Let me be still and listen to the truth. If you will lay aside the ego's voice, however loudly it may seem to call, if you will not accept its petty gift that give you nothing that you really want, if you will listen with an open mind that has not told you what salvation is, then you will hear the mighty voice of truth, quiet in power, strong in stillness, and completely certain in its messages. Now, before we continue, there was a bar that stuck out to me, and I want to expand that just a little bit before we continue. So it stated, if you will listen with an open mind, that has not told you what salvation is, you will hear the mighty voice of truth. So salvation is, again, us looking for, salvation is being saved. At the very core of its being, me and you need salvation. Me and you need to be saved, but only thing we need to be saved from is our own illusions in our mind. And it states right here that has not told you what salvation is. So the ego, whenever you are identifying with the ego, it's tricky and it's telling you what salvation is. And it's not saying that word, but it's saying you will feel better if you go and do this thing in the world. You will be better and okay if you talk to this individual. You will feel love if you get in a relationship with that individual. You will be happy if you get this material possession. You will be free whenever you get this amount of money. You will be secure whenever you get this amount of likes or validity out there in the world. Now remember, none of those things mean anything, because lesson 1, nothing we see means anything, and lesson 2, me and you have given all those things all the meaning they have for us. They are really neutral and do not mean anything within themselves. So the ego will always speak first, and the ego is going to say that's where your salvation lies, although it doesn't use those words. The ego makes it appear that what you're looking for is out there, because remember, the ego's doctrine is seek but never find. So it wants you to always be looking, because you're not going to look in the one place where you're going to find your salvation, which is within. And you're going to understand when you look within that there is nothing to be saved from other than your own illusions. And the voice of God, if you will, knows that, therefore, that has not told you what salvation is, then you will hear the mighty voice of truth, because truth knows who you are, and truth knows that in reality you need be saved from nothing. And it is a healed perception that you are looking for, and that I am looking for, whenever we are in worry and doubt and fear, and we are feeling insecure because someone hasn't answered our text messages back, and we think that they're ignoring us, or we think that we're not good enough, or we think we said the wrong thing, or any of those illusions that may be similar to that one. Those are what we need to be saved from, because in that moment we are not realizing who me and you are, which is love and light. And in any moment where we are not being the love and light that we are prolonging our joy unnecessarily, and there is no need for that. And this lesson right here is going to help us understand how to get out of that loophole and that hamster wheel that we've been on. And remember, the first step always is power of awareness. You must know, and I'm sure after 106 days, me and you are really good at identifying whenever we are in this state of mind and whenever we have deviated from it. That's the first step, is understanding I'm not where I need to be. I'm not where I should be. Not in terms of material possessions or attributes or accolades, but in terms of state of mind. I am not where I need to be. I need and will for myself to be in this state of enlightenment, in peace and in joy and in happiness, because happiness is our function here. Whenever we are not happy, we are not functioning properly, which means that we need to forgive, because forgiveness is our function as the light of the world, meaning we need to forgive the situation that just occurred that took us out of this state of mind. We need to forgive the thoughts that we've been thinking about ourselves or others that are unloving, that are keeping us out of this state of mind. And whenever we give forgiveness and we genuinely forgive ourselves for deviating from who we really are, then we will return to the state of mind that we are in right now. So let's go ahead and continue. Listen and hear your Father speak to you through his appointed voice, which silences the thunder of the meaningless and shows the way to peace to those who cannot see. Be still today and listen to truth. Be not deceived by voices of the dead, which tell you they have found the source of life and offer it to you for your belief. Attend them not, but listen to the truth. Be not afraid today to circumvent the voices of the world. Walk lightly past their meaningless persuasion. Pay attention here, and I will do the same. Be not afraid today to circumvent the voices of the world. Walk lightly past their meaningless persuasion. The world is telling me and you, whether they're saying it directly or indirectly, what we need to do in order to be good enough, or what we need to do in order to have enough, or to be this or that. Just go on social media, for example, and you are going to be advertised hundreds of products while you're on there that make you feel like you're not good enough, and whenever you get this product of theirs, then you will be good enough. Or watching the news, for example, is a big one, that you're seeing all these negative stories on the news, but remember, they need to make money. And the only way to grab someone's attention in this world is to put up a fearful story, because me and you and the whole world being identified with the ego respond to fear, because fear is what the ego looks for. Remember, the ego, that self-image that me and you have made apart from who we really are, apart from God. Me and you made this self-image, and we are unknowingly identifying with this, and it looks for any shred of evidence of the ego in anyone else to justify its own existence. So it's searching for fear, it's searching for worry and doubt. And that's why, whether the people who are producing the news know what we're discussing now or not, they somehow know psychologically, oh, for some reason, whenever we put up a fearful video or a fearful headline, it is going to get more views, which will equate to more attention and more money for our company. Let's put up negative stuff. And then us as humans, not knowing who we really are, we think we're human, we think that we are this body, we are unknowingly running to that headline and wanting to see what happens, because we believe, and not only believe, but unknowingly this is happening. It's a belief that's happening beneath our level of awareness. We are looking for that shred of evidence to justify who we are, or at least who we think we are anyways. And again, we don't know none of this is happening, but it is. And when we're aware of it, then we can deliberately choose to only look towards the love of this world, because seeing the love of this world is what is going to allow your attention to be focused on all that is, all there really is. That fear, if you were to play if you were to play all the bad news right now and compare that to all the good news and all the love that's taking place, it would have zapped like that. Zoop. and then you'd be on good news, because compared to what's good happening in this world, there's a tiny little percentage of what we could classify as negative, and it doesn't appear like that, but it's because that's all they are presenting to the world, because they know that that is what is going to make the people watch. So you have to be very vigilant, and you have to, and not only you but me too, because we're in this together. Me and you have to walk lightly past those meaningless persuasions. We might not consider that a persuasion, but it is. Anything that is guiding you towards the illusion, towards back to being asleep, back in the fear, the worry, the jealousy, the envy, the comparison, all of that is what me and you are being persuaded into by others who don't even know that they're persuading us. But remember, people of this world, and I'm saying people of this world, but this includes us from time to time, because we haven't fully learned how to embody this state of mind forevermore and be anchored here. We are unknowingly looking for this in others, and others are looking for this in us, because it makes them feel good, because it reminds that individual that somebody is worse off than me, which makes me a little bit better, and it gives them that tiny little sense of justification of their good enoughness, because they don't know that they're good enough, so they look for any little scrap of evidence of someone else's not good enoughness to make them feel good enough. Or they feel sorry for themselves, and they're looking at everyone doing better than them, and they continuously put themselves down, feeling not good enough. So it's this hamster wheel that we don't even know that we're on, and today we snapped out of it. Thank goodness we are no longer on a meaningless journey. We are on a journey that is actually going to take us somewhere. Let's continue. Hear them not. Be still today and listen to the truth. Go past all things which do not speak of him who holds your happiness within his hand, aka God, held out to you in welcome and in love. Hear only him today, and do not wait to reach him longer. Hear one voice today, and we don't do that all the time. We primarily listen to the ego's voice, the things of this world, the worry, the doubt, the fear, um, and that has not gotten us nowhere. It only got us in more fear, whatever form that fear may take. Even if it's a tiny little annoyance, remember at the beginning of this course, I believe it was at lesson 6, it states that there are no small upsets. All upsets are equally disturbing to our peace of mind. So although this one situation in my life appears to be very big and depressing, and this other little situation over here appears to be annoying and irritating, this tiny little irritating thought is just as unsettling as the big one, because in this world it appears like there's separateness and sizes and and there's levels, but in reality there is only truth, and there is only one, and there is no levels. And even though it appears like this is smaller than this big depression, this tiny little frustration appears smaller, it's really not, because it's upsetting to your state of mind. Therefore, it's equally disturbing than this what appears to be bigger situation. So we have to remember that if you really want to be in the state of mind, and you really want to be at peace with who you really are, then you must remove any fearful thoughts, regardless of any form they take. They are no different. It is either love or fear. That is all there is. And in reality, all there is love. Love can have no opposites. Fear is just an image that me and you made, and we believe that it exists because we believe what we make is truth. And thank goodness is not, because if me and you made fear, which we have, and if what we made became true, and what we make apart from God became true, me and you would be bound to our illusions forevermore, and there would be no saving for us. We would literally be stuck with all of the illusions that we made, and we would literally be not good enough, and we would believe all those illusions about ourselves, and there would be no way to get out of those illusions. But thank goodness me and you cannot actually change reality, because what God creates is changeless and unalterable. So although we can believe that we have done something here, just know that you really did nothing in reality, and you're simply sleeping. And that's good to know, because if you actually did something, there would be no help. There would be no saving for you. But fortunately, there is, and you are the one who is going to do it. I am the one who is going to do it, because no one can save me other than me, because no one knows my illusions. Only I know those thoughts that I think about myself, and illusions can't be shared because they have no reality. They have no foundation. They cannot be shared. But love can be shared, because love is all that is. So let's go ahead and continue and keep everything that we're discussing right now on your mind forevermore, because the more we stay aware of this, the less and less we will fall asleep, and then soon we will not have to be aware of this no more, because it's a program built in. Just like how people are operating in this world and they are programmed with fear, they don't even have to try. They automatically think negative, because that's just what they're programmed to. They're not practicing reading a book. Okay, think this thought today, to be fearful. You're going to think this and say this, and it's going to get you upset today. No one's doing that. You see how insane that sounds? It is just unknowingly happening beneath the surface. And what me and you are doing today is reading truth and being reminded of who we really are, and repeating this truth so many times that we no longer have to practice, because it is programmed, just like how we got programmed with fear. Let's continue. Go past all things which do not speak of him who holds your happiness within his hand, held out to you in welcome and in love. Hear only him today, and do not wait to reach him longer. Hear only one voice today. Today, the promise of God's word is kept. Hear and be silent. He would speak to you. He comes with miracles, and times as happy as and 1,000 times as happy and as wonderful as those you ever dreamed or wished for in your dreams. His miracles are true. They will not fade when dreaming ends. They end the dream instead. That's a beautiful way of putting it. One more time. They will not fade when dreaming ends. God's gifts will end the dream instead and last forever, for they come from God to his dear Son, which is me and you, whose other name is you. Prepare yourself for miracles today. Today, allow your Father's ancient pledge to you and all your brothers to be kept. Hear him today, and listen to the word which lifts the veil that lies upon the earth, and wakes all those who sleep and cannot see. God calls to them through you. He needs your voice to speak to them, for who could reach God's Son except his Father? Calling through your self, with a capital S, who you really are. Hear him today, and offer him your voice to speak to all the multitude who wait to hear the word that he will speak today. Be ready for salvation. It is here, and will today be given unto you, and you will learn your function from the one who chose it in your Father's name for you. Listen today, and you will hear a voice which will resound throughout the world through you. The bringer of all miracles has need that you receive them first, and thus become the joyous giver of what you received. Remember, me and you cannot give what we do not have, and we can't give what we don't think we have. So although all we have is love and reality, most of us from time to time fall asleep and we don't perceive that love. Therefore, we can't give what we don't even think we have, and instead we give fear, we give anger, we give judgment, we give hateful comments, we give whatever it is that we are giving that is not love. And whether we're doing this knowingly or unknowingly, remember, whatever you give, you're actually giving to yourself, because you are one with all aspects of creation. So even though it appears like you're projecting the thought outward on someone else and they are going to be the one who has to carry the weight, actually it is completely opposite. It is coming back at you because you are the one who has it to begin with, and it's only weighing you down. And forgiveness, as your light, as the light of the world, you must forgive yourself for doing such a heinous crime, because you wouldn't have given any fearful thoughts to another child of God if you were in your right mind. And in order to be in your right mind, you must forgive yourself for those acts, and you must forgive yourself and other people who you perceive to have done you wrong. There is no way to make it out of here unless you forgive. You can try. I've tried, and we are going to fail. Forgiveness is the way that me and you get out of the illusions we made. So anytime you see the look on someone's face that you've said something and they feel down as a result, forgive yourself for that, because if not, you're going to allow it to eat you up inside, and it's going to take you over. That illusion, that error you made in this world is not real. It didn't really happen in reality, but because you believe it happened here in this world while you're being that body, it's going to feel real, and you're going to imprison yourself here in this low state of mind. And until you forgive yourself, you will not be free, and I will not be free. So it's important that we do whatever it takes in order to set ourselves free, because no one is going to do it for us. Let's continue. Thus does salvation start, and thus it ends. When everything is yours and everything is given away, it will remain with you forever. Now, remember, me and you believe at this moment in time, while identifying with the body, that what we give, it is no longer ours. We think that because we have given something away, we lost it, or we want something in return. But we are learning here for the past few lessons that what we give, we are actually strengthening in ourselves, and we keep what we are giving. So if you are giving love, you strengthen that love in yourself. And if you are giving any form of worry or doubt or fear or hate at all, if those thoughts are anywhere in your consciousness and you appear to be sending them out, you're actually strengthening that in yourself as well, and you're keeping it. So this is a big turn that we're taking here, because we are learning that whenever you're giving something, you are not actually getting rid of it. You are actually receiving what you're giving. And remember, in any whenever you're in any situation, whatever appears to be lacking, you are not giving. Whatever appears to be lacking in any situation, you are not giving. Meaning, if you're in a situation and you're having a conversation with someone and it appears that you're not feeling love coming from that situation, or any form of emotion or whatever it is that you feel like you're looking for in that situation, you are not giving it, because you are the only receiver in that situation. You are the only giver. And if you're not giving love, of course you're not going to feel it. If you're giving lack, you're going to feel lack. Remember, if I give you this gift and then I feel bad about giving it to you after because I feel I'm lacking it, I didn't give abundantly, therefore I gave lackfully. Therefore, I am not really giving you this. I am giving you the state of mind that I appeared to be handing the physical item to you. So because I gave that physical item to you with lack, I am actually really giving lack to myself, therefore perpetuating the idea of lack and reinforcing the idea of lack. So we're not going to continue to talk about this right now, but just keep in mind that for the next few lessons and for the remainder of these practice periods, we are going to understand that the way giving really works here in the real world is nothing like the way that we have thought it out to be our entire lives. We, identifying with the ego, think that we give and we get rid of. But in reality, whatever you're giving to yourself, because remember, you're one with all aspects of creation. So it's important for you to think about what you're giving people, because if you're giving anger, it's going to come back to you. And you don't have to worry about it coming back at a later point in time. It is being received by you the moment you let it out, because most people think insanely. I am going to give this person hate and a dirty look and all this junk, and of course they are going to be weighed down by it, and I'm going to get my point across. But really, you're only doing yourself a very big disservice, and there is no words to describe how big of a disservice that is to yourself. But in time, we will begin to see that we don't want to do that. If we were in our right minds, we would not do that. I promise you. Let's continue. And the lesson has been learned. Today, we practice giving, not the way you understand it now, but as it is. That's what we were just talking about. Each hour's exercises should begin with this request for your enlightenment. I will be still and listen to the truth. What does it mean to give and to receive? One more time. You will be still and listen to the truth. What does it mean to give and receive? One more time. Me and you will be still and listen to the truth. What does it mean to give and to receive? They are one. Ask and expect an answer. Your request is one whose answer has been waiting long to be received by you. It will begin the ministry for which you came, and which will free the world from thinking giving is a way to lose. Remember, that's what me and you have been thinking our whole lives. We've been thinking giving is a way to lose. And so the world becomes ready to understand and to receive. Be still and listen to the truth today. For each 5 minutes spent in listening, 1,000 minds are opened to the truth, and they will hear the holy word you hear. And when the hour is past, you will again release 1,000 more who pause to ask that truth be given to them along with you. Now, this is very profound. Really pay attention to these words real quick, and I will do the same. Be still and listen to the truth today. For each 5 minutes spent in listening, 1,000 minds are opened to the truth, and they will hear the holy word you hear. And when the hour is past, you will again release 1,000 more who pause to ask that truth be given them along with you. So again, to somebody who is asleep, this may sound very conceptual and woo-woo, but whenever you are in your right mind, you understand that you spending that 5 minute practice period in this state of mind. Remember, whatever you are feeling right now, you are emitting from your being right now. You cannot stop that from happening. You, like we began the video with today, like we began the lesson with today, are the most powerful creator ever. You are the most powerful receiver and transmitter of frequency, energy, or vibration, whatever you would like to call it. They are one and the same, but just know that you are emitting a signal right now. And whenever you spend those 5 minutes at the beginning of each practice period of each hour today, you being in that state of mind, and let's use us right now in this state of mind, are literally blasting off these emanations, these frequencies, and those who are in the receptive mode to hear this information, they are hearing it right now. They're not hearing the physical words that me and you are hearing right now, but they are receiving the message that me and you are discussing right now energetically, and they are receptive because they are quieting their minds. Let them be still and listen to the truth. So right now, remember, me and you are not apart. We are not separate, and neither is the person 20,000 miles away from us. They are not separate from us. So if me and you are here discussing this information, and we are emitting frequencies, that person who is in the receptive mode of what we are discussing right now has just received a breakthrough based off this conversation we're having, because this conversation does not stop out of the range of physical hearing. Meaning, if you walk away and I'm talking right now, and you walk away until you can no longer hear my voice, this message will still be spread, because it's not being spread through sound, but it is being spread energetically. So understand that you are doing a big deal. You are doing a big deed. You are literally helping all that is. You are improving the quality of anyone in the vibrational frequency of receiving this message by you being in your mind, being silent, and asking this question and doing your practice periods today. Remember that, because you are not only helping yourself, but you are helping that person over there who appears to be far away from you, that you don't even know, by the way. And remember, they are just another aspect of you. It is only you here, and you are here awake in this moment, and that's the best place to be, because now you can wake up other aspects of yourself until the entire sonship is woke as one, unified and in harmony. Let's continue. Today, the holy word of God is kept through your receiving it to give away. So you can teach the world what giving means by listening and learning it of Him. Do not forget today to reinforce your choice to hear and to receive the word by this reminder given to yourself as often as is possible today. Let me be still and listen to the truth. I am the messenger of God today. My voice is His to give what I receive. Again, let you be still and listen to the truth. You are the messenger of God today. Your voice is His to give what you receive. We're going to do that one more time. Let me and you be still and listen to the truth. We are the messengers of God today. Our voice is His to give what we receive. And that is the end of lesson 106. Very powerful lesson, and we're reminded of a profound truth, and that is that whenever we are doing this work that causes us to be in this state of mind, we are not doing it only for us, but we are doing it for everyone. Even if you can't see with your physical eyes, remember, these physical eyes can't see nothing. They only see what's in the illusion. You are not the body. And I'm sure we have came to that realization by now and have accepted that by now. And me and you understand that we are spirit. We are love. We are light. And we are as God created us forever and eternally. And by being what God created, there is no separation between me and you and between that person 5,000 miles away who is nowhere in the physical vicinity of us but is receptive to this state of mind. And me and you are here right now blasting off this energy, and they received a breakthrough because God works through people, through individuals. And that is powerful, because now as you're awake, you can be receptive to what God is telling you, and then you could say something to someone else that you didn't even know that they needed to hear, but God did. And you say those words and you don't know why, but you just said it like nothing, and they were like, "Whoa, I just received a breakthrough. I needed to hear that." And you're like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Now, obviously, it's going to be more exciting in that moment, but you don't know what that person needs to hear, but God does. And God, knowing that you are receptive to His communication, is going to lead that person to you in order for you to relay the message to them. And that, if that's not powerful enough for you, I don't know what is. So me and you play a very big role here in this world. Let's not forget that. Me and you are equivalent counterparts. Neither one of us is better than or less than one another. We are all one. We are all equal. And the more we keep that on our mind, the less we will ever compare ourselves ever again, because only the body compares. Only the ego compares other bodies, compares their body with other bodies, compares their materials with other people's materials. But whenever you finally transcend that illusion and you remember that you are spirit, and you are the same spirit in that is animating this body, that is animating that body and that body and that body and that body and that plant and that tree and that grass and that animal and that dog and all of it. You are all of it. I'll see you tomorrow.